Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Timothy Cox. This is my Interactive Advanced Concepts 5 presentation. For the description, we are given many of the things we use in daily life are constantly rusting. Today we're going to reverse the effect of this rusting on some pennies and discuss what is going on in the reaction. Please use the following video as a guide to set up this experiment. So, in the video that we were instructed to watch, the list of ingredients that they had used was a non-metallic bowl. So this is just a regular pottery bowl, a spoon for stirring, 1 teaspoon of salt. So I've got the salt here with a measuring device. This is, well, you can't really see it, but this is 1 teaspoon. We are given 1/4 cup of white vinegar. So this is just the white vinegar here. And then a measuring device for the vinegar. We'll do 1/4 cup. We have a paper towel. And unfortunately I wasn't able to find a ton of pennies, so I've got a few that were manufactured in 2020, so they still look pretty shiny. But we've got one particular penny here from the 70s, looks like 1978, and you can see that it's a pretty dark color. Yeah, the light really isn't helping, but so we'll kind of compare that dark one to the two relatively shiny ones. You can see they still look pretty new. They haven't really been, they haven't oxidized as far as this older penny here. So hopefully they all end up looking the same when this experiment is concluded. I will have to grab a spoon, which is just kind of directly behind me here. That's right, we can't do anything metal. I'll just use my finger for that part. Okay. So let's go ahead and measure out the vinegar here. So we've got ourselves a 1/4 cup. Go ahead and add that to our bowl here. Let's go ahead and do the salt. Okay. Now for this portion we were instructed to stir it around until the salt is completely mixed with the vinegar here, so we'll just do as best as we can with what we have. Okay. So this is going to be kind of hard to show you, but if you take a look here, you can see that the salt is totally mixed. And now we're going to go ahead and add the pennies. So we'll go ahead and do the dirty one first. I'll just plop that bad boy in. And almost immediately you can see it clear up. We'll let it soak for a minute here. We'll drop the other pennies in as well. Now, this is interesting because pennies, it's a well-known fact that pennies get dull over time. The copper in the pennies will slowly react with the air, and that forms copper oxide. Now, pure copper is really shiny. That's why new pennies look extremely shiny. When they oxidize, they turn that like kind of greenish color. The Statue of Liberty is a great example of that. The reason that it's that bluish green is just because it's outside. It's been oxidized for years, and that's why it's got that particularly green look. When it originally had come to the United States, it didn't look like that. So now when you take the pennies and you put them in the salt and the vinegar, the acetic acid from the vinegar, that is going to dissolve the copper oxide on the outside of the penny, which then clears the penny so it looks pretty shiny. Let's see. So we can demonstrate that here with this experiment. The whole point was to clean these pennies off. And so you rinse it with just a little bit of water, you stop the process, but this is the penny from 1978. You can see that it only sat in, let's see, yeah, so it's much cleaner. It definitely has that shine to it. This is one of the newer pennies from 2020, and you can see the color is like almost identical. So the experiment works. Now, the other part of the video was that they took some stainless steel bolts and they added it to the solution, and that picked up the copper. Obviously, that wasn't a part of the description, so we won't be doing that. But it's also cool to to understand that there are more reactions that can happen. But you don't necessarily have to have vinegar for this. You can use like basic acids, like lemon juice or something if you're doing it at home with your kids. I mean, we're doing it at home. You could obviously do it this way, but there's other ways to do it, which is kind of neat. But cool. Thanks for your time.